Hello everyone, and welcome. In this video, we'll be diving into the world of Power BI, focusing specifically on one of the most important concepts, interactive dashboard. This session is brought to you by ZoomInData, your space for learning business intelligence and data analytics. So, let's get started and understand how Power BI connects to different data sources and why this process is so essential in today's data-driven world. First question: how do you design an interactive dashboard that remains fast even with large datasets? The first step is to optimize the data model by using a clean star schema, removing unnecessary columns, eliminating high cardinality fields, and ensuring all data types are properly defined. A lighter model drastically improves query performance. Heavy transformations, like merging tables, cleaning data, or generating calculated columns, should be done in Power Query or the source rather than with DAX. Pushing compute work upstream reduces load on the VertiPack engine. Implementing aggregation tables or pre-summarized tables for large fact datasets allows visuals to query smaller datasets instead of scanning millions of rows. This is extremely useful for real-time dashboards. Limit the number of visuals per page because each visual triggers a DAX query. Keeping visuals between 8 to 12 per page prevents query overload and ensures smooth interactivity. Second question: when and why do you use disconnected tables to enhance interactivity? Disconnected tables are used when we want slices or selections that should not apply direct filtering on the main data model. For example, scenario selection, best case, worst case, actual, top-end selections, or metric switching. They allow the creation of what-if parameters, where the user can input their own choices without affecting relationships or accidentally filtering fact tables. Using functions like selected value, treaters, or switch, we can map user selections from disconnected tables into dynamic measures. This gives full control over how slicer selections influence calculations. Since disconnected tables don't cause model filtering, they reduce unpredictable slicer behavior and make the dashboard's logic more consistent and user-friendly. Third question: how do cross-filtering and cross-highlighting affect performance and usability? Cross-filtering recalculates every visual on the page based on the selected data. This makes it more powerful, but it also has a higher performance cost, especially with large datasets or complex measures. Cross-highlighting is lighter because it modifies only the visual itself instead of recalculating all visuals. This reduces load and keeps the interaction intuitive. From a usability perspective, cross-filtering helps users navigate from summary to detail quickly, but overusing it can cause confusion if too many visuals react simultaneously. Good dashboard design requires carefully configuring edit interactions so only relevant visuals respond, ensuring that interactions help storytelling instead of overwhelming the user. Fourth question: how do you ensure a dashboard is both desktop-friendly and mobile-responsive? After designing the desktop layout, you must switch to mobile layout view, where you manually arrange the visuals into a vertical format suitable for smaller screens. Card visuals, KPI tiles, and slices must be resized for readability, ensuring that text size and spacing remain consistent across devices. Where possible, build visuals that resize automatically using responsive formatting so they adjust to different screen widths. Always preview the mobile layout on different devices or screen resolutions to confirm that no visual extends beyond the frame and that users can scroll easily without interacting with the wrong slices. Fifth question. What strategies do you use to simplify a dashboard without losing interactivity? Replace multiple slices with smart slices, such as hierarchical slices, date range sliders, or unified filter panels to reduce visual clutter. Use bookmarks plus buttons to hide advanced visuals like drill-down tables, secondary KPIs, or comparison charts. This keeps the dashboard clean while allowing power users to access deep insights. Avoid overcrowding the dashboard. Instead of placing every metric on one page, use drill-through pages, tooltips, or sub-pages to organize information hierarchically. Group related visuals into collapsible sections or tabs using buttons so users can interact with only the part of the dashboard they need. Sixth question. Build a dynamic KPI section that changes based on slicer selection, with DAX-driven titles. Create a disconnected slicer table listing metrics like sales, profit, and revenue. Use selected value to capture the user's current choice. Build a dynamic measure using switch or if logic to display different values depending on the selected metric. This allows one single card to display multiple KPIs. For dynamic titles, use DAX to generate meaningful text such as showing total profit for selected year. This automatically updates whenever slices are changed. Format the KPI card using color scales or conditional formatting so positive or negative changes are highlighted visually. Seventh question. Create a comparison feature, example SI versus PY, using disconnected slices. Create a year selection table with entries like current year and previous year, keeping it disconnected from the model. Use treaters to map the slicer selection to the date dimension so Power BI understands which year the user is referring to. Build two measures, SI value and PY value, based on user selection so that the comparison updates dynamically even if the user chooses any two random years. Visualize the values using KPI indicators, waterfall charts, or variance cards to help users interpret performance differences quickly. Eighth question. Use edit interactions to control how each visual affects others. For each visual, open edit interactions and decide whether it should filter, highlight, or ignore other visuals. This gives precise control over dashboard behavior. Disable interactions when a visual should not influence others. Example: a map should not filter a business table unintentionally. Enable interactions only when they support the analysis flow. For example, clicking a bar chart should update a detailed table below. Test the dashboard by clicking each visual to ensure interactions feel natural and enhance storytelling rather than cause confusion. Ninth question. How do you create a hierarchy-based drill-down navigation? First, you build a date hierarchy with the levels year, quarter, month, and day inside your date table. Then, you add this hierarchy into visuals such as bar charts or line charts and turn on the drill options using the drill-down icons or the drill buttons. For better user control, you can create custom buttons like Go to Month or Back to Year by using the drill down actions available in Power BI. Finally, you check the drill behavior by making sure the date table has correct relationships and matching granularity with the fact table, so that the drill down results show accurate data. 10th question. Build a fully responsive version of a dashboard for mobile view. Use Mobile Layout View to rebuild a simplified version of the dashboard, ensuring only the most important KPIs and visuals are included. Duplicate key visuals as needed so mobile users get a clear, touch-friendly interface separate from the desktop version. reduce text, eliminate excessive slices, and enlarge tap areas so navigation works smoothly on mobile devices. Test scrolling, button interactions, and slicer usability on an actual mobile screen to ensure the experience feels native and intuitive. 11th question: what is conditional navigation, and how is it used to control user flow? Conditional navigation refers to creating buttons whose actions are controlled by DAX logic or user selections, allowing navigation only when certain conditions are met. It lets designers guide the user's journey, for example, allowing navigation to a detailed report page only after the user selects a year or region. Using DAX-driven measures, button states can switch between enabled and disabled, ensuring users don't access pages with incomplete or irrelevant filters. This approach enhances both data accuracy and user experience, ensuring users follow a meaningful analysis path instead of wandering through pages randomly. 12th question: how do button states, default, hover, pressed, improve user experience? Button states create visual feedback. When a user hovers or clicks, the button reacts, helping them understand that the object is interactive. The hover state improves engagement by providing subtle cues, example color changes, shadows, or highlights, that mimic modern web or mobile UI behavior. The pressed state confirms that the user action was registered and often indicates page transitions or filter applications. These states together make Power BI dashboards feel more polished, app-like, and intuitive, reducing user confusion and improving navigation flow. 13th question: why use buttons instead of multiple pages for complex dashboards? Buttons allow bookmark-based navigation, enabling several views, tabs, hidden panels, detailed sections, within a single page, reducing clutter and page switch fatigue. This approach improves performance because fewer pages mean fewer visuals and fewer queries loading at once. Buttons help convert dashboards into interactive applications where users switch between views, summary, detailed, forecast, without leaving the main screen. Using buttons rather than multiple pages ensures design consistency and makes maintenance easier, since layout changes only need to be done on one page. 14th question: how can buttons replicate app-like navigation inside Power BI? Buttons can switch between tabs, open side panels, collapse, expand areas, and show, hide visuals, exactly like mobile or web apps. When combined with bookmarks, buttons can recreate page transitions, tab navigation, sliding panels, pop-ups, and interactive menus. Using icons, shadow effects, hover states, and clean alignment gives the interface a modern app-like feel that users are familiar with. Buttons can also trigger actions such as drill through, URL opening, and conditional navigation, giving dashboards the behavior of a full web application. 15th question: how can you create a DAX-based rule that enables or disables a button based on slicer selection? You begin by writing a measure that checks whether the slicer has a selected value. For example, is selected equals if the slicer field is not filtered, then return 0, otherwise return 1. This measure returns 0 when nothing is selected and returns 1 when the user chooses a value in the slicer. Next, you use this measure inside conditional formatting for the button's fill, text, or transparency. When the measure returns 0, the button will look disabled. When the measure returns 1, the button appears enabled. You can also add a tooltip message such as, "Please select a category to continue," so that the user understands why the button is disabled. This approach ensures that the user must make a required slicer selection before navigating to deeper insights. 16th question. Build a top navigation bar with icons or buttons acting as tabs. Add a row of icons or buttons at the top of your report representing pages such as Overview, Sales, Customers, and Trends. Create bookmarks for each view and assign them to the respective buttons so clicking a tab changes the visible content. Use selected or unselected states by changing button colors or boldness based on the active tab to mimic true tab navigation. This reduces the need for multiple pages and creates a professional website-like navigation system. 17th question. Create a global reset filter button using bookmarks. Set all slices to their default states, example, all, latest year, or default region. Capture that state using a bookmark with data settings turned on. Place a button labeled Reset Filters and assign the bookmark action to it. When clicked, all filters and visuals instantly return to the clean baseline view, essential for dashboard users who often get lost in multiple slicer selections. 18th question. Use shapes or images as buttons with hover effects for a professional UI. Import modern icons or use rectangles, circles, and rounded shapes for cleaner button design. Configure hover settings to change color, add shadows, or increase transparency so users feel responsive visual feedback. Assign actions, bookmark navigation, page navigation, drill through, web link, to these shapes to make them fully functional. This creates a user experience similar to modern web dashboards or mobile apps. 19th question. Implement a conditional button that changes color based on user actions. Create a DAX measure that returns different hex color codes based on the user's selections or performance metrics. Use conditional formatting for button fill or border so the button changes visually. For example, green when a KPI is positive, red when a required selection is missing, blue when the button is active. This guides the user visually by showing which option is currently selected or which action is recommended. The dynamic color behavior makes the interface more interactive and helps users navigate confidently. 20th question. Why must data be turned off when using bookmarks for UI toggles? When data is on, the bookmark remembers the state of slices, filters, drill levels, and even visual selections. Clicking the bookmark resets everything to that saved state. For UI toggles, show, hide panels, switching visuals, revealing menus, you only want to capture visual visibility and position, not user filters. If data remains on, users will lose their slicer selections every time they toggle a button, creating frustration and breaking the dashboard's interactivity. Turning data off ensures bookmarks only control the UI layout, leaving the user's analytical context untouched. 21st question. What are the biggest limitations of bookmarks when slices are used? Bookmarks cannot partially capture slicer states. They either overwrite all slices or do not affect them at all. If data is on, slices revert to their saved state, destroying user-selected filters. If data is off, slices are completely ignored, meaning toggles may break if slicer-driven visuals vanish unexpectedly. Bookmarks do not dynamically adapt to new data. If new values appear in a slicer, a saved bookmark may behave inconsistently. Slicer syncing issues across pages or visuals can cause bookmarks to display unexpected results when navigating between different views. 22nd question. When should you use bookmark groups instead of page navigation? Bookmark groups are preferred when multiple layouts or UI states exist on the same page, like tabs, hidden panels, or toggles. They allow smooth switching between multiple views, e.g., summary right-pointing arrow details right-pointing arrow insights, without loading new pages, improving performance and user experience. Bookmark groups simplify complex navigation because group bookmarks maintain a consistent structure and can be cycled or triggered together. Groups are ideal for dashboards that mimic mobile apps or multi-tab interfaces, where users need quick in-page transitions instead of shifting to different pages. 23rd question. How do you keep bookmarks stable when visuals or filters change? To keep bookmarks stable, you should always finalize the layout of all visuals before creating any bookmarks. If you move visuals or redesign the page after creating bookmarks, those bookmarks may stop working correctly. When you add new visuals after bookmarks have already been created, you must select the bookmark and choose Update so that the new visual becomes part of the bookmark state. You should avoid saving bookmarks with the data option turned on, unless it is absolutely required. When the data option is on, any change in slices or filters will cause the bookmark to behave unpredictably and may reset the page. Use the selection pane and give clear names to every visual, for example, bar chart main, or filter panel background. Clear naming helps you understand which visuals should be shown or hidden when you update each bookmark. 24th question. How can you create a toggle button that switches between two visuals, such as a bar visual and a line visual? To create a toggle switch, you first place both visuals in exactly the same position on the report page. Then you use the selection pane to control which visual is shown and which one is hidden. Next, you create two bookmarks. The first bookmark, called Show Bar, has the bar visual visible and the line visual hidden. The second bookmark, called Show Line, has the line visual visible and the bar visual hidden. You should keep the data option turned off and the display option turned on in each bookmark. This ensures that slicer selections do not change when the user presses the toggle button. Finally, you assign each bookmark to a button. When the user clicks the button activates the bookmark and switches between the bar visual and the line visual, working like a toggle switch. 25th question. Build a pop-up info or filter panel using bookmarks plus buttons. Create a shape or panel on the page representing your pop-up window, e.g., filter panel or info box. Place all pop-up visuals inside this panel and hide the entire group using the selection pane. Capture two bookmarks, hidden state, visible state. Assign the visible bookmark to an Open Panel button and the hidden bookmark to a Close Panel button, creating a smooth sliding or pop-up effect similar to mobile apps. 26th question. Create multi-level tab navigation using bookmark groups. For each major tab, e.g., Overview, Sales, Performance, create different layouts on the same page. Store each layout inside a bookmark group so the tabs within the group represent different states of the same page. Assign each bookmark to its respective tab button. Use selected state formatting, color change, border change, to highlight the active tab, giving a professional multi-tab navigation experience. 27th question. Build a 3-layout toggle dashboard, each stored in different bookmarks. Create 3 versions of the layout on the same page, e.g., grid layout, KPI layout, map layout. Use the selection pane to show only the relevant set of visuals for each layout. Capture each layout in a separate bookmark, Layout 1, Layout 2, Layout 3, with data often display on. Add 3 buttons that allow switching between layouts, so the user can view the dashboard in different formats based on preference or use case. 28th question. Hide or show visuals dynamically without affecting slicer selections. Place the visuals you want to toggle inside a named group in the selection pane. Save 2 bookmarks, Visual On, Group Visible, Visual Off, Group Hidden. Make sure data is off so slices and filters stay untouched during the toggle. Assign a toggle button to the 2 bookmarks, or use a single button that switches state automatically when clicked. 29th question. How is drill through superior to drill down for detailed user exploration? Drill down only moves through hierarchical levels within the same visual, meaning the context stays limited to one chart and one dimension. Drill through takes users to a dedicated, richer report page with multiple visuals, KPIs, and additional details. Drill through supports multi-field context, e.g., department plus year, whereas drill down only relies on a predefined hierarchy. Drill through pages offer deeper storytelling. Users can switch from summary dashboards to detailed pages without cluttering the main screen. Drill through provides a more focused experience. When a user drills through to doctor details, they see only the doctor-specific data without being overwhelmed by unrelated information. 30th question. When should keep all filters be enabled or disabled in drill through? You should enable the option Keep All Filters when you want the user's current filters to continue affecting the drill-through page. For example, if the user selects year is equal to 2025 and then drills into doctor details, the drill-through page should still show information only for the year 2025. You should disable the option Keep All Filters when the drill-through page must always show a clean, standard view that does not depend on slices. For example, a patient details page may need to always show the full visit history of the patient, even if the main page slicer is filtering a different date or category. Turning the option on improves user continuity, but it can also cause empty charts if the slices from the previous page remove important data. Turning the option off is safer when the drill-through page depends on a fixed layout or on comparisons that must not change based on slicer selections. 31st question. How does drill-through interact with data model relationships and granularity? Drill-through only works when the target page contains columns from the correct level of granularity. For example, department drill-through requires department-level fields. Doctor drill-through requires doctor-level keys. Patient drill-through requires patient_ID. If relationships are not properly set, direction, cardinality, drill-through may fail to pass filters or show blank visuals. One-to-many relationships ensure that high-level selections, department, flow correctly to lower levels, doctors, patients. If drill-through uses a field that belongs to a table without a relationship to the fact table, visuals on the target page may display incorrect or incomplete results. 32nd question. How does RLS impact drill-through pages and user visibility? RLS, which stands for row-level security, controls which rows of data a user is allowed to see. Drill-through pages fully follow these restrictions. A user cannot drill into any information that they do not have permission to view. For example, if a user drills from department to doctor, but their security role allows them to see only one doctor. Then the drill-through page will show only that one doctor's information, even if the user selected multiple doctors. RLS can also cause drill-through buttons or right-click drill-through options to disappear. This happens when the user does not have access to the underlying data needed for the drill-through. Power BI automatically hides the drill-through option when no valid drill context exists. When you design drill-through pages for sensitive datasets such as healthcare or finance, you should always test how the drill-through behaves for every RLS role. Each role may see different visuals, different results, or may lose access to drill-through entirely. 33rd question. How do you build a multi-level drill-through workflow from department to doctor to patient? You first create 3 separate drill-through pages. 1. A doctor details page, where you add the field doctor_name as the drill-through field. 2. A patient details page, where you add the field patient_ID as the drill-through field. On the main dashboard, the user performs right-click drill-through actions in this order. Step 1. The user right-clicks a department and drills to the doctor details page. Step 2. From the doctor details page, the user right-clicks a doctor and drills to the patient details page. To improve navigation, you can add breadcrumb-style text or dynamic titles. For example, you can display a title like, "Showing doctor details for Dr. Asher." This can be done using the function selectedValue to display the currently selected item. This setup creates a smooth workflow that moves from a high-level view to a very detailed level, which is common in medical dashboards, sales dashboards, and service management dashboards. 34th question. How can you create a dynamic drill-through page that rearranges visuals based on the category selected? You first use the function selectedValue, applied on the field category, to detect from which category the drill-through action was performed. For example, you can detect whether the user drilled from department, or from region, or from doctor. Next, you use conditional formatting or DAX-based visibility logic to show or hide visuals automatically. This can be done using field parameters or by using bookmarks that control which visuals are visible. For example, if the drill-through comes from department, then the page shows only the department KPI visuals. If the drill-through comes from doctor, then the page shows the doctor-specific distribution charts. If the drill-through comes from region, then the page shows region-level summaries. Using this method, a single drill-through page behaves like multiple different layouts. It saves space, reduces duplication, and provides a smart experience where the page automatically adapts to the user's selection. 35th question. Highlight the drill-through context using conditional formatting in the target report. Create a measure like highlight equals if selectedvalue doctor name equals max doctor name highlight normal. Use this measure to color tables, cards, or headers so the selected doctor, patient is visually emphasized. Add a dynamic header using DAX, details for, and selectedValue, doctor, name. This helps users immediately recognize the drill-through context when landing on the detailed page. 36th question. When should drill-through be used instead of slices or tooltips? Use drill-through when the user needs a full dedicated page to explore details, not just a tooltip preview. This is ideal for patient history, doctor performance, or department-level breakdowns. Drill through is preferable to slices when the user's path should follow a guided workflow. Department right pointing arrow, doctor right pointing arrow, patient, instead of manually selecting filters. Tooltips are best for quick summaries, not deep insights. Drill through is ideal for complex dashboards containing tables, patient records, detailed charts, KPIs. Use drill through when the detail requires multiple visuals, deeper context, and interaction, which tooltips and slices cannot provide. 37th question. Implement a cross-report drill through between two separate PBIX files. Ensure both PBIX files share identical field names and data structure for the fields used as drill-through parameters. Publish both reports to Power BI service, then use cross-report drill-through settings under Options. Add matching drill-through fields, e.g., doctor_name, patient_id, on the target report's drill-through page. When users right-click the visual in Report A, they will see the option to drill into Report B and view deeper details. 38th question. Design a drill-through page optimized for small screens, mobile-friendly. Move all drill-through visuals into vertical layout, with KPIs at the top, charts in the middle, and a scrollable table at the bottom. Use large font sizes, avoid wide tables, and replace slices with drop-downs to save space. Turn off unnecessary visuals and simplify navigation because mobile drill-through pages must load faster. Test in mobile layout view and ensure the drill-through button is easy to tap on mobile devices. Thank you for watching this session. If you have any questions, you are welcome to contact ZoomInData through our website, email, or phone. We're always here to support your learning journey. See you in the next video.